Hello, my crafty friends. I have been waiting to do this video tutorial for weeks and weeks, and I finally have it. So I'm going to show you how to create a pop-up inside a slimline card. This one is actually a mini slimline folded. It is 3.5 by 6 inches, but my slimline cards are generally the same width at 3.5 inches, and then they are 8.5 inches long. And this pop-up works perfectly in the slimlines. I've been showing them, talked about having a video coming, so today is the day. I'm happy to be able to share it with you. I'll start off with the walkthrough of my card front, and then we can do the tutorial. So as I said, it is a mini slimline card and it fits in a number 8 envelope. I've talked about the envelopes and sizes of mini slimline cards in another video. I will link it below. It's called Let's Talk Mini Slimlines. So for my card today, actually my husband let me order some mini slimline dies from Tailored Expressions as my birthday gift this year. So they came, I was very excited. Little heads up though, I actually paid to have them FedExed so that they would be here for my birthday because shipping between Canada and the US can take a long time, and they came in plenty of time for my birthday. So that was amazing. Yesterday though, I got an invoice from FedEx for $46 for brokerage fees and taxes, and I'm going to contact Tailored Expressions and find out what the heck is going on there. I certainly would not have paid the additional fees to have Tailored Expressions FedEx me the package if I'd known there was going to be another $46 tacked onto it. That is not Tailored Expressions' fault, but a heads up, if you're in another country and you're ordering from Tailored Expressions, that can happen. So that bad news aside, I'm very happy with the Tailored Expressions mini slimline dies. This one is a mouthful. This one is the Petite Mini Scallop Mini Slim Dies, and this one is the Stitched Mini Slim Stacklets. The mailbox is a die by Frantic Stamper, and it comes with the letters with the embossing on them and the little flag. It comes with some snow for the front. If you were doing, say, a winter card and a parcel, it was one that was pointed out to me by one of my YouTube followers, Susie Q, and so I ordered it. It was on sale even, and yeah, I was very happy with it. The pattern paper is called Field and Flowers. No, I always do that wrong. Flower and Field. It was a celebration pattern paper package. The polka dot is the reverse side of the paper, and I don't know if you can tell, but I did add a little bit of shimmer to the mailbox using a shimmer pen, and the iridescent butterflies, which are beautiful, are from Studio Katia. The background pattern paper, so it is a white card base, and this pattern paper is the Oh So Ombre pattern paper. It was also a celebration item from Stampin' Up, but celebration is over now. The white panel, I used a handmade cloud mask and blending brushes from Tailored Expressions to create clouds, and a grass die by Karen Burniston to create a mask, and then used that for the ground. So that's the card front done. And inside I added a couple more stitched panels using the same Tailored Expressions mini slimline dies, fussy cut some of the flowers from the Flower and Field patterned paper. So this is where we're going to put in the pop-up. And to do that, you're going to want a paper strip that is 5 inches long, 3/4 inches high. You're going to score that at 1 inch, 2.5 inches, and 3 inches, and then work all of those folds. So I actually did it on patterned paper. Now you're going to adhere this inside your card, and that's why the layers have to be done ahead of time. I like to decorate the inside of my card. At the very least, I put a stitched rectangle, because quite often I have layers on the front of my card, and then the card doesn't feel balanced. The front is very heavy, and the back can feel a little wussy, a little off for me. So I do tend to decorate the inside of my cards. Not always a whole lot, but I do tend to add at least another panel inside, and that's what you need to have done before you do your pop-up. Otherwise, you're going to have to try to notch around the pop-up because it will be glued over top. So here is my pop-up. I did use the same pattern paper, and I chose the pattern paper because it's thick and sturdy. So it's like a lightweight cardstock rather than like a thinner text weight paper that would be similar to a printer paper. So you do want something sturdy because it's got to support what you're going to pop up. So this is cut exactly the same. It is cut at 5 by 3/4 of an inch, and it is scored at 1/2 inch, 2.5, and 3 inches. And I have worked my folds by folding them and making sure that everything stays lined up when I do my folding. So that is done, and now we're going to adhere it into the card, and I'm going to use wet glue. So today I am using the Art Glitter Glue, and actually let's talk about glue for a minute. My very, very favorite glue is the Neutral pH Adhesive by Line Co. Karen Burniston sells it. That's the glue that she uses and recommends, and I really, really highly recommend this glue. Love this glue. Can't say enough good things about the glue. It has a really good hold. It dries completely clear, and it's not sticky. I don't understand how Tombow adhesive, in the one in the green and white bottle, I don't know how that is so popular. I had a love-hate relationship with that until 2015 when I started on Karen Burniston's design team and talked to the other design team members about what they used, because the Tombow adhesive, if it oozes out, it's not clear. It stays tacky. And if you're making a pop-up card and something oozes just even a little bit, then your card is glued closed or it tears when you open it. I find if it gets even just a tiny bit on my fingers, then my fingers are sticky when I use that Tombow glue. So I avoided glue as much as possible when I was using that Tombow glue. I only used it when I needed a strong hold, because there is a strong hold. I mean, it is a great glue. It's just all the other stuff I didn't like. So when Karen started recommending this, I did order it. However, I'm getting very, very low on it. I use her fine line bottle. So both of those are available on the Karen Burniston website. And so that is the glue that I normally use. But I was getting low. Now, for some people, that's not low, but it's not a glue you can order in the winter months because it can't freeze. I was getting a little panicked at how little glue I had left, because now I use glue quite a bit, and I knew I couldn't order it. So I did try this. I got it before there was a hard freeze. I just got this small 2-ounce bottle, the Art Glitter Glue. I know a lot of crafters use it, love it, and I really like it as well. Very impressed. And I mean, I have most of the bottle left, but because I'm so crazy about my supplies and needing to know I can get stuff, this is another glue that cannot be shipped in the winter months or when there's going to be a freeze. I bought this one. So Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. It can be shipped in the winter months. It can be frozen and defrosted for 24 hours, and it apparently works just fine. I did a quick trial on it, and I do quite like it. Now, I need to work with it a little bit more. I know my parameters are I want a glue that dries clear, so if there's any oozing, I mean, I glue a lot of fine things on, say, scripty words, and if a little tiny bit oozes out, I want to know that I'm not going to see it. When I use the Line Co. Neutral pH Adhesive, you don't see that, and you don't see it when you use the Art Glitter Glue. So I do need to play a little bit more with this one, but I'm excited about trying this one and knowing that I can get it in the winter months, or if the weather all of a sudden turns cold here and it's going to be freezing, I don't have to worry about not being able to get glue. So those are the glues, and we're going to use the Art Glitter Glue today. It came with this stainless steel pin, and I've added a ribbon to it, and that ribbon is only there so when I put the pin down, I can find it again. I can't even tell you how many pins I lost or rolled off or fell. So that's the glue we're going to use, and we're going to go back to our pop-up here. I've worked all the folds, so essentially you're going to have this little box here. That's what's going to glue into the card. And the glue is going to go onto only the outer 2 tabs. So because you have your score lines there are 4 tabs, the 2 outer tabs, and there's 2 in the center. You're only putting glue on the outer 2 tabs. So let's go ahead and glue it inside the card. So I do like the fine nib that comes on this bottle here. I'm going to fold this in half, and it's the short, the 1/2 inch score line. That is the one that is going to be glued against the fold. So here's my open ends, and the fold on the pop-up piece is here. And I'm going to glue it, let's say about here. That looks good. I want to nestle that right up inside the fold. So it's not going over the fold. It's not crossing the fold line. It is, I want it straight as well. It is right against the fold. And then we're going to close the card against that and give it a minute or two to set up. This is what we're going to pop up inside. So the sentiment is from Gina K Designs. Some more fussy cut flowers. It's on a tasteful label die from Stampin' Up. Okay, so that's adhering now. Remember, we're only putting glue on the outer tabs. So that one, the 1/2 inch one, and now this one. So don't let your glue cross over that score line. I'm going to put my finger here to make sure I don't go over the score line, and I'm just going to add some more glue here. Make sure it's lined up nice and straight. And then once again, I'm going to close my card against the adhesive. Now while I'm holding it closed, I'm going to put my pin back in the glue to stop it from drying out. And that should be enough. Now the first time you open it, you might need to just make sure it's down good. And there is your pop-up. So now you can add all kinds of things to that. Now if I wanted to put this here, what you want to be careful of when you're doing a pop-up is that nothing extends out the side. So if I want this, when the card is open, to be centered, and I close the card with that, it's probably going to stick out the side a little bit. So again, liquid glue is very helpful for kind of adjusting because you have a little bit of wiggle room. So again, I'm just going to put some glue there. And look, so I can wipe that glue off of the tip and my fingers aren't sticky. Whereas if that was Tombow glue, it would stick to everything I touched. Okay, back to this one here. Let's get the pin in. And we're going to add this. I'm going to tuck it in, not quite centered over this white panel. And I'm going to close and, oh, I can see it's still sticking out. So I'll move it in just a little bit. And now it's not sticking out the card. It's coming right to the edge, but it's not sticking out when the card is closed. So that is where I want that pop-up. Give it a good press. And my pop-up's done. So it's a fun pop-up. You can mount all kinds of things on it. If you follow me, you know I have been using, this is my new favorite way. It kind of floats. It can be used in this direction as well, and you can mount something to that 1/2 inch side and have it stand up. I have another video on a Christmas card. I will link that below, and that pop-up box is even numbers. So rather than having 2 longer platforms, it is, I believe it was 1 inch wide by 4 inches and scored at 1, 2, and 3 inches. So all of those folds were even 1 inch. So this is just a fun way to make it a little bit longer on the top and the bottom and not quite as high. But you can play with your sizes if you wanted to mount something larger. If you were going to do it this way and you wanted to mount a sentiment or something, a border strip, you could make your box, rather than 3/4 of an inch in height, you could make it 3 inches and still score it at 1/2, 2.5, and 3 inches. And then you could have something floating across the bottom that way, or turn it and have something floating across the top. There's a lot of versatility in just a simple pop-up box, and you can see how easy they are to do. You just have to be careful when you're adhering them that you adhere right to the fold, you don't cross the fold line, and then whatever you're attaching on top, you want to make sure it doesn't stick out the sides. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is if you weren't using pattern paper and you were going to use cardstock, that can be adhered in exactly the same way. Trying to hold it all here. And you could just cover the top area here. So it would be, say, attached like that, and you could hide anything that's showing here. So if I didn't want this part to be just plain white, you could always adhere pattern paper or something on top of your pop-up box. So I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial. I know it was a long time coming. I hope you have fun with it. I'm addicted. It's such a quick and easy way to add some pop and oomph to the inside of your card. You can animate all kinds of things with it, and you know you'll be seeing a lot more of those from me. If you enjoyed my tutorial and video today, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more. That's it for me today.